This set has never smelled as amazing as it does right now. Chef Malcolm Jones, executive chef at Sky Lounge. Brad Gordon is here. We've talked to Brad before about Sky Lounge. Let's get right into it, man. If you want to know how to put some cow on the fire, what's the plan?
First plan is to get a hot skillet.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get you a good choice of meat.
Yeah.
And once you pull it out the refrigerator about 20 minutes before you're ready to cook it so it can get down to room temperature.
Okay.
Once you get it down to room temperature, like you said, you want to get that skillet as hot as possible. So you
Okay.
turn it on high, hit it with a little olive oil, and you wait for that to get hot. Now while you're waiting for that to get hot, you go ahead and season your steak up.
You said bring it down to room temperature. Why?
Because it opens up the pores of the steak. You can get the flavor in. You'll be able to. It's very, very hard to cook a steak while it's still cold in the middle.
Okay.
Because the outside will cook, the inside will still be not the temperature that you want it to be.
Okay.
So when you go to season it, most people like to season their own way, but I always use a little black pepper, coarse black pepper, of course.
Okay.
And you want to get all sides of it. You want to get it pretty good because it's a nice cut of meat. It's pretty thick. You're gonna get some kosher salt on there. And don't be scared to season it up. One thing people hate is the under-seasoned steak.
Yes.
So go ahead and come with the salt. Get you some pepper on there.
Okay.
And then, of course, me personally, I like to add a little garlic.
I do too. Why is garlic one of your preferences?
It adds more flavor to it.
Okay.
You know, it gets a different aspect
Okay.
to the flavor.
Okay.
The salt and pepper is okay, but when you add a little extra garlic to it, you can always taste the difference. And that's just a personal preference. Some people won't, some people will, you know. And then when you season it, like I said, you always want to make sure you get all sides of it. So you want to go ahead and get the edges.
Oh, okay.
You want to get the edges of it real
Now, I
good.
never think to do the edges.
You always got to get, you know, extra flavor is nothing wrong with that. You know, it's always helping it out. So go ahead and get it all seasoned up on the side. You pat it, smooth it down. And you go ahead and do the last side.
Brad standing over there like Phil Jackson watching his offense on the basketball court. So the big thing is, we talked about temperature of the steak. I'm a medium rare plus guy.
Okay.
And there are a lot of people who want their steaks well done. That is like the biggest don't in eating a steak, because why?
Because you're basically chewing a hockey puck. It's not, you're cooking the flavor out of the steak, cooking all the juices out of a steak. I'm a medium person,
Yeah.
you know, but I understand why people like the medium rare. It also tastes good as well.
I wanted mooing on the way
You
to
want it
the
moving
table.
on the plate. And a lot of people feel that way, and I totally understand. It took me a while to get there, but once I got there, I never switched up again. See, now, you can see that pot starting to smoke a little
Oh yeah,
bit.
oh yeah.
Once you get to that point, you know you're at the right temperature.
Here comes the music.
There you go. That's the sound that you want to hear.
Oh my goodness.
That's the sound that you want to hear.
So what's a good rule of thumb about turning it? Because some people say only turn it once, some people say turn it as much as you want. Where do you fall? You're the professional.
I like to stay with the one-turn method
Okay.
because it gives it a chance to, the more that you turn it, the more you're knocking off that seasoning.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if you can go ahead and just get a nice sear on that one side,
Okay.
and then flip it, you like a medium rare, so it's not going to be in there very long.
Nope.
And you brought up the temperature thing. If you don't try the thumb method, if you're not too, you don't know exactly what you're doing with that, go ahead and get you a meat thermometer. It makes it a lot easier.
There you go.
You like it at medium rare, so that's about 130.
130, medium rare, 130. There you go. What we got going over here? A little asparagus?
You got a
Get it
little
going?
asparagus going. While that's getting a nice little sear on that one side, throw a little asparagus in there with some butter. And you hit it with the same seasoning, a little salt. A little pepper. And a little garlic.
Oh, Cameron's you're getting some stuff to put this on social, huh? Because this is good. Like, most people don't like sharing what their seasoning is. On some things I won't, but on a steak I'm very open about what I use, because I like to hear other people's techniques.
That's everything. Now, once you get to a nice little size, you can see it starting to brown on those edges. You go ahead and give it a flip and watch how this.
Man, come on.
Now that's a nice sear on there.
Yeah.
You go ahead and crush up some garlic. You don't have to unwrap it. Just crush it up a little bit.
Huh.
Some butter.
All right, so we got 20 seconds. The chef's gonna keep his thing going. In the next segment, we're gonna come back and we're gonna have some cow. I'm excited, very excited. And next week, we're gonna have a sit-down conversation with Chief Murphy Paul. Back in just a moment. if y'all can imagine what Studio A smells like here at WBRZ, it is incredible. Scott's dying over there. He can't wait to get next to this. You know, Kyle is salivating. Cameron's, you got to keep him back, and I'm telling you, this thing is amazing. In real time, since we've been in commercial break, this thing has been going, and it looks like it's ready.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, we're right there, sir.
Okay, so because we're getting into this today. All right, so I said to Chef when we were in break that I just recently shifted from the grill, and even when on the grill, I use a skillet. Talk about why that is a good technique.
It's a good technique because it's going to evenly cook the steak a little bit better than the fire. When you're dealing with a thick cut of meat, it's very easy to burn burn the outside of it and not get the temperature that you want.
And it's not even. Yeah,
exactly.
Now you mentioned the oven as well, and that's not something that I've heard about. That when you mentioned it to me before we started. What's the oven technique and why?
When you're dealing with a cast iron skillet, some of the best steaks I've ever tasted and I've ever cooked have come out the oven. Once you get you a nice sear on both sides, preheat your oven, stick it in there until your desired temperature.
To what temperature do you put the oven?
I would say around like 250.
250. Okay, and that's just so you've got the sear on the outside. That's to maintain the interior.
Exactly.
You know, when I go to steakhouses or restaurants, I typically ask for my steak Pittsburgh style. I want char on the outside, medium rare on the inside. Man, that thing looks amazing. Medium rare on the inside, and that's perfect. So why are you kind of spooning the butter over the top?
That's just a basic method. You want to get that unsalted butter that you put in there. You just wanted to get it flowing on top of the steak. Yeah. Butter doesn't make anything taste bad. You know?
No, it does not
so
make anything
the garlic,
taste bad.
the taste bad. The garlic, the rosemary, and the butter, you can't lose with that, man. You can't lose with that at all.
So Brad, every Thursday at Sky Lounge, if someone is watching this and thinking, where can I get him to do one of these, they can come see you Thursday at Sky Lounge on Bennington, right?
Correct. Every Thursday we do our steak night. The only night of the week that we premiere our steak with the choice of potato.
Wow. Right here in Baton Rouge. So how long did it take you to get your steak to a place where you felt like, okay, this is it. This is a perfected technique?
It was actually a very old, like a mentor to me, a very old friend, Dr. Eddie Patton. He had a steak recipe that I still use to this day. Everything I learned in the kitchen outside of him had nothing to do with the steak. He taught me how to make a steak. He taught me how to grill a steak perfectly. And after doing it with him for every Monday for about 3 years straight, it just became my own.
Why'd you decide to add this night to what y'all offer at Sky Lounge?
Actually, the idea was Malcolm's idea.
Okay.
You know, Malcolm is definitely in the kitchen an ideal man.
Yeah.
Tried it out as usual. He throws out an idea. What do? Hey, let's run and go. You know, try it up, test it up. Let a couple of people try it.
Yeah.
Feedback response was phenomenal. It was great. So hey, it was something that we can move forward with and execute, because everything is about execution.
How much time? Okay, that's what I was about to ask you, Scott. Quickly, why did you choose culinary arts? Why did you choose to get into this?
Everybody loves to eat. Everybody loves to eat, and I've spent a lot of time watching my mother cook, watching my grandmother cook.
Yeah.
And it's always something that interests me. It's always something that I love to do.
Don't pay me any attention
Go
on
ahead,
that.
do your thing. Let me know how I'm doing.
So wow, that temperature, that's perfect. That's I don't know. Let's see that. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Now you learn a lesson. You want it hot, but you don't want to put it in your mouth too fast coming off the skillet.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I know that. Let's just say a friend told me. All right, here we go. We have the bleep button ready over there. Oh my goodness. Every Thursday at Sky Lounge?
Every Thursday. Every Thursday.
The one thing that's missing is what we pair this with.
Oh.
What's your recommendation for pairing with a steak?
A good red wine. Malbec is my favorite. I can do a bottle of Malbec a day.
So there's another steak in here somewhere.
Let me go ahead and get it
And
out
as
here.
soon as we wrap this up, I know it's going to be descended upon. Where is Melvin, by the way? All right, guys. Sky Lounge every Thursday is steak night. Starting at what time?
We open for business daily at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
We're open until 12 a.m. Located at 4564 Bennington Avenue, right next door to, you know, one of everybody's favorite restaurants, Gino's Italian Restaurant.
Gino's.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can smell the garlic bread.
This is so amazing. I recommend it. You got to go get one. I'm going to get after this joker, but not before I tell you next week, the entire show will be a sit down with Chief Murphy Paul, who announced his resignation a couple days ago. It's going to be on for a few weeks, but we'll talk about his time as the chief of the Baton Rouge Police Department. And again, Pierce Bespoke franchising, you could learn about that. And then Sky Lounge, go see my man, Chef Malcom, who put his foot 5 toes down in this joker. See you next week. Y'all have a great weekend.